The Celtics have done it. They just beat the Chicago Bulls in their final in-season tournament game, and they clinched the playoff berth for the quarterfinals. Welcome back to Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, and in this episode, we're going to break down the Celtics versus Chicago Bulls post-game and the Celtics final in-season tournament game of the regular season so far, and we'll be looking at the playoff implications for the in-season tournament handling with the Boston Celtics and who they're going to be playing against and how I think it will work out. All of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. But before we get into any Boston Celtics news, I have to say shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much. We recently just got to 2,300 subscribers. We're so close to 2,400 subscribers. So if you guys are new and make sure you guys want to enjoy everything Boston Celtics every single day as we upload daily, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'd love for you guys to join the Celtics Digest family. After this Celtics team has been so dominant so far this season, we'd love if you guys supported us as much as we support the Celtics. But let's get into the news at hand. Make sure to grab a snack as this is a jam-packed episode diving into the Celtics post-game reactions and looking at how the Celtics stack up versus the teams in the playoff berth. But like I said, the Celtics clinch a playoff berth for the in-season tournament. They get the job done. They win Group C. Ultimately in Group C, it was the Nets, the Toronto Raptors, the Orlando Magic, the Chicago Bulls, and the Boston Celtics. Three teams finished at a record of 2-1. It came down to point differential, and the Celtics got it done here tonight. Let's look at the stats for the game. The Boston Celtics shot 52% from the field compared to the Bulls' 43%. Celtics shooting better from three-point percentage as well, shooting 43% compared to the Bulls' 32%. The Celtics back at it again, getting another game where they shot better from the free throw line than their opponent, shooting 75% from the field tonight compared to the Bulls' 55%. Out-rebounding them as well. 11 offensive rebounds, looking better and better each and every game. But 41 defensive rebounds compared to the Bulls' 28. They absolutely dominated on the glass here. The Celtics also dominated in the assist game, getting 36 assists compared to the Bulls' 25. The Bulls had 5 more steals, and the Celtics did have double the turnovers of the Chicago Bulls. But the Celtics did have more points off of turnovers compared to the Bulls and more fast break points. Ultimately, that is what got them the job done in this blowout win versus the Chicago Bulls. The Boston Celtics beat the Chicago Bulls by 27. They needed to beat them by at least 22 points to ensure that they could win the group here tonight. There was a lot of implications going into this game, and we had to have some luck from the Toronto Raptors. They had to lose to the Brooklyn Nets in tonight's game for it to go down to point differential, or else if it was a tie, the Magic would have made it off of tiebreaker after they beat the Boston Celtics in the one game the Celtics did lose in the in-season tournament. But luckily for the Celtics, it came down to the point differential. They had the best point differential, and they'll be continuing on into the tournament. But let's look at the stats from tonight's game. As you can see, Jayson Tatum shooting 50% from the field, 2 for 8 from 3, not the greatest, but 3 for 3 from free throw. That is exactly what we needed. 7 rebounds, 6 of them being defensive rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 turnovers, finishing with 21 points. Al Horford having a solid game for the Celtics. After last game not having the best shooting game, he comes out and performs greatly for the Boston Celtics. 6 for 8 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3, 9 defensive rebounds, 6 total assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Al Horford is out there doing everything for this Boston Celtics team, especially with Kristaps Porzingis being out. Even though he's taking that bench role, he still knows that when his number's called to be an impactful starter, he needs to be it, and he does that again tonight, finishing with 16 points. Jrue Holiday having a terrific game for the Boston Celtics. Ultimately, every single Boston Celtics in the starting lineup tonight played great tonight. Jrue Holiday, 5 for 8 from the field, 4 for 5 from 3, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 14 points plus 19. Derrick White, another killer for the Celtics, doing everything for the Celtics on both sides of the floor. Him and Jrue Holiday were shooting terrific from the field. They were shooting in the first half a combined 100%, but he finished 5 for 7 from the field, 2 for 3 from three-point range. Not the most impactful on the rebounds tonight with Derrick White, as Jrue Holiday was being a more on the rebounds as the guard, but Derrick White doing what he does best, 7 assists for the Celtics, 2 steals, and 14 points. And the man of the hour, the guy that everyone in Boston seems to hate when he does bad, but when he has performances like this, no one is praising him on Twitter, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown came out and dominated for the Boston Celtics. 12 for 23 from the field. Yes, he was shaking a lot of shots, but he did shoot 50%. 3 for 8 from 3. Not the greatest shooting night from 3 for him, but also Jayson Tatum, not the greatest shooting night from 3 from him as well. Jaylen Brown finished with 8 total rebounds, 6 defensive, 6 assists, so he's doing other stats as well, finishing the game with 30 points. A stellar performance from the Celtics' second superstar, especially when Kristaps Porzingis is out with an injury. You need your other stars to step up, and Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum stepped up tremendously tonight. We got another impactful game from Sam Hauser. Not the greatest shooting night, 3 for 12 from the field, 2 for 10 from 3, but 10 rebounds from Sam Hauser, doing what he does best, playing great defense, finishing with 9 points. And Payton Pritchard, 4 for 10 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 11 points, doing his stuff there. Kornet had some great contests, had some great defense as well. 3 impactful blocks for the Celtics, playing backup center. And Dalano Banton had some memorable minutes for the Celtics, 2 for 3 from the field. Not the greatest overall stat night, but was holding his own and playing some great defense for the Celtics team. But let's break down how impactful this win was for the Celtics as they blow out a team in the Chicago Bulls who, to be honest, just didn't look like they had that great offensive firepower tonight. The Celtics looked like they were complete control from the beginning to the end, and the Chicago Bulls definitely need to look on retooling and blowing this thing up because it's just not working. Their stars are just not gelling. I know that Caruso had an injury before the game. Levine had an injury before the game. They stopped playing halfway through because the Celtics were just completely dominating this team. But let's look at the implications from this big win. As we know, the in-season tournament started this season, and like any other season, this would have just been a normal, regular game on a Tuesday, but it was so cool just to see the playoff implications and to see that the Boston Celtics, as we can see from this post, have clinched, and they advanced to the knockout rounds, winning Group C. Like I mentioned, they finished atop the group, tied with the Brooklyn Nets and the Orlando Magic. All 3 teams finished with a record of 3-1. Comes down to point differential. After that, if it was a 2-way tie, it would have come to record. If that was the case and the Nets were to have lost to the Toronto Raptors, the Celtics and Magic would have been tied. The Magic would have advanced due to the record of them beating the Boston Celtics, but it came down to point differential, and the Celtics came out and got the dub. Post-game, Joe Mazzulla had some comments saying that he did feel bad for hacking Drummond late in the game and had some extensive talks with Billy Donovan during the game, saying that they needed to win by more than 23 points and that it was extensive for them to make it the in-season tournament. And Joe Mazzulla made this prevalent as he kept the starters late into the game. Not all the starters were pulled from the game up almost 25 until the last minute because they wanted to make sure that they had this point differential and they could make this tournament. Like I said earlier in the video, the Celtics needed the Nets to beat the Raptors, and the Nets successfully did that for the Celtics to win Group C. As of recording right now, the 4 teams in the Eastern Conference have been announced. The Milwaukee Bucks will be taking on the New York Knicks in the first game of that round, and then the Celtics will be taking on the Indiana Pacers in Indiana for their matchup in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks being the wild card team to make it, and with the Pacers and the Bucks already clinching their groups, the Celtics are the 3rd team alongside with them. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it is successful that the Celtics got this win and it was necessary for them to make the in-season tournament? I totally think so, and I think this is very impactful for this team, as with the in-season tournament you have the benefits of winning some extra money. And as we want to look at this quote here from Suichi Tarada, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but he said that Luke Kornet joked today around saying that he'd pay off the mortgage if the Celtics won the in-season tournament because you get a bonus of $500K, and I don't blame him on that. I would like to see him actually be successful, get to pay off his mortgage. Shout out to Luke Kornet. He does a lot for the Celtics. He definitely deserves that, but that's meaningful for guys like Oshae Brissett, Lamar Stevens, and stuff like that. The guys that don't really get to play that lot and have the lower end on the roster, they need this type of money, and it's definitely impactful that Joe Mazzulla knows that, and the stars know that, and that they play for these guys, and they just didn't give up tonight in a night where they ultimately could have won the game, but not have won by 25, kind of just pushed it to the side and not have made the in-season tournament. Could have some easier games for the rest of the week, but the Celtics want to contend. They want to make sure that if they're going to be competing, they want to compete against the best teams. They will be taking on the Indiana Pacers for the first in-season tournament game. I'm super excited. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you guys think it's going to be another blowout game like it was in Boston when the Celtics beat them, scoring the 2nd highest points in franchise history? Or do you guys think the Pacers are going to bounce back from that game, having Tyrese Haliburton, having a healthy lineup, and they're going to combat versus the Boston Celtics? I personally think it will be a closer game than the first one we saw, but I really like what I've seen from the Boston Celtics, and I think they'll be able to handle this Indiana Pacers team. Like I said, if you guys are still not subscribed at this point in the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as we know you guys enjoy the Celtics content. I'm Bruce Velez. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. The Boston Celtics finally get it done and beat the Chicago Bulls by 27 points to ensure their victory and making it into the in-season tournament quarterfinals. Peace out and have a great rest of your day. Catch you later.